All right. Hello, everybody. Hopefully, you had a good Friday. I have. Markets are looking beautiful. We're going to try and expedite this one a little bit and make it quick. Hit the bike, Jesse. I like the idea of hitting the bike, but you guys could hit the likes too. Both of those. But yeah, it's been a good day, guys. All in all, for me at least. I mean, maybe not if you own Eli Lilly, Intel, Amazon, Nvidia, AVGO, AMD, Costco. There's some areas that didn't feel pain or felt some suffering today, but Tesla wasn't one of them, up 2.43% on the day. And there's a lot more than that, too. Let's just sort real quickly through here. Lots of highlights today, guys. One, the Russell outperformed the S&P and the NASDAQ, up 0.73% on the day. Another, we have liquidity firing off around the world. We have a potential in October here of Canada doing a 50 bip cut. And again, just liquidity everywhere. Liquidity from China, liquidity from all over the place. We've even got some comments from Michael Howell about that. We also have a Bitcoin breakout, which is pretty exciting. If we go over here, again, still sitting above the fib at a really beautiful level. Now the close for the week and the close for the week isn't until Sunday, and then the month is when does the month end? Or I don't know off the top of my head. If you guys don't know what day the month ends on, let me know. But again, looking really great if we close anywhere where we are now. It's very, very exciting, and we're looking to go places. Also, alts are taking off. So we can see alts performing well and actually accelerating and beating in the Bitcoin dominance race, just like I was talking about. We've got the portfolio with trading. I made some trades today. We'll talk about that. Also, we've got a hood upgrade, which is awesome. It helped launch the stock today. If we actually go through the list here and we sort by percentage change, sort it by the top, lots of crypto in here, lots of crypto. But hood up 6.58% on the day. MicroStrategy up 6.15% on the day. And just a lot of good companies. Tesla up 2.46, it says here. I think it's closing a little bit higher. SoFi sitting good. So a lot of good stock action today, and also a lot of good crypto-related and Bitcoin-related price action. Those were the real benefactors. So wonderful day from that front. And then also we got some Discord upgrades. I was just going to kind of talk through what we're doing on that. And let me see what else we got. I think that's it. Let's get going. Let's rock and roll. Okay, so real quickly here. If I jump over to the CNN Fear and Greed Index, we're actually not sitting too bad. We're still at 68. We're not quite towards extreme fear. I think we can run for a while, guys. It doesn't look bad to me at all. If also, again, just looking at the altcoin performance tells me how risk on we are right now, especially if I go out to the weekly. This is just looking better and better. The love is being spread pretty well over the last week when it comes to altcoins. If we look at the Fear and Greed Index on altcoins, it's actually a little bit better than what we're seeing over on the stock side at a 61 instead of a 68. So still a lot of room to run. Also, if we look at the portfolio today, probably up about $45,000. A lot of that being held up again by other accounts that hold a lot of alts. I've got that other account with over $300,000 worth, and a few others that have Bitcoin miners and stuff like that are performing really well. So maybe $45,000, maybe 50. I'd have to actually add it up to be sure, but not a bad day. Again, if we're looking here, I'll just zoom in a little bit, or I won't because it doesn't work, or I'll do it over here. Whatever, we'll make it work. If we go down over here and look at Hood, what a great day for Hood. Hood is up 61% on average. Today alone, we had a 6% increase on Hood. The options that I'm in were up 22 to 24%. So again, just a really wonderful, and this was off that Citibank upgrade. If we hop over here real quick, let me actually go over to here. If we hop over, back up the truck a little bit, and I'm going to try and be more organized on just hitting highlights too, guys. I want to get through stuff quicker. So Amy had posted, man, Hood is about to get real competitive, huh? Vlad Tenev dropped hints that the 1016 event, they'll open futures and index trading. Now a stable coin seems undervalued here. Also, Amit posted earlier, Robinhood upgraded from Citi today to $23 from $19. That's a wonderful number. Again, they're chasing. We love that kind of price action. It's really helpful. If we look over here at the Robinhood stock, again, I didn't know it was going to go up this quick, but we're up almost 7%. And this is just such a bullish pattern. Look at how we're pushing towards new highs. I don't think it's going to take long to get to 30, guys. we already hit what Citibank's new adjusted target is. So 30 is just in a matter of time. Very exciting stuff on that front. Let's go back over here. So looking at the rest of the portfolio, everything kind of did well. DLO was down though. Maro was down. PayPal was down a lot. I actually took an opportunity to sell some Tesla-related calls, still sitting at like probably 1.25 million in these things. I can sell them, and the balance doesn't go away. And I use that to redistribute into a few other things. Let's look at what those were. So if we look over here, actually, it says sold some Tesla calls. I think I sold 3 of them. Yep. Up 4.5% on the day, and bought MU down 2%. So Micron. Also, Iron, my HPC Bitcoin miner play, down 3% on the day. And then PayPal calls down roughly 10+% on the day, as you can see here, and you can also see on X if you have a subscription. So that was fun. I think that was the right move. Very excited about what's happening. If we look over at the economic calendar, I'll just highlight real quickly that everything was pretty much in line. Core PCE price index actually came in a little bit better than expected. Personal income was like 0.1, 0.2% lower, but really still sitting at really good numbers. Personal spending was sitting good here too. Let's see. I'll just pull this up. As you can see, personal income hasn't changed too much. It's kind of been trending in these ranges for years now. And if we go back even earlier before the pandemic into the before times, you can see it was also doing this going back years and years and years. So personal income, we're not really seeing a big drop there of any kind. Personal spending, if we jump into here, it's kind of hard to see because this is a little noisy, but it still remains strong. It's not a bad number. If you look here, pre-pandemic to post-pandemic, it looks like post-pandemic is really stronger going back over 10 years than what we saw pre-pandemic. So no weakness really there. Good trade balance is still super negative. This shows that we have a lot of trade dependency with foreign entities, and not super great, but it is the reality that we face today, which is why I hope Donald Trump gets elected, because he's trying to pull a lot of manufacturing and things back to the U.S., which I think could be really beneficial. Now, the PCE price index year over year. If we look over here, we actually saw this come down even more. It came down to, let's just read here, 2.2% actual for August, but the forecast was 2.4 and the consensus was 2.3. So again, this came in better than expected, just what we want to see. Retail inventories up slightly, 0.1% versus forecast. That's really kind of just noise, no real signal there. Wholesale inventories month over month was 0.2%, and consensus was 0.2, and forecast was 0.1. Nothing exciting there. Core PCE price index up 2.7%, pretty much in line, a little bit higher than forecast. Nothing exciting really here. Michigan Consumer Sentiment Final, better than expected. Michigan 5-year inflation expectations, in line. Michigan Consumer Expectations Final for September, 74.4. Now, that might be a little confusing because one says sentiment, the other one says expectations. So these are different metrics. And then if we look down below, we can also see current conditions. This is probably the one that matters the most, but all of them are trending up, guys. Sentiment is trending up to levels. Like if you look back over here, we go back a ways. Look at this. Like this is an up thrust. We went lower than we did in the 2008 great financial crisis for the Michigan consumer sentiment, and we're bouncing better out of it than we did back then. So this looks really strong still. And if we go to, again, the consumer expectations, and we max that out too, same kind of thing. It looks like it was worse as far as depth than 2008, and we very much climbed out of this. And we're doing better. And again, consumer expectations, or I'm sorry, inflation, current conditions as well is finally starting to turn around. So the other ones were like, hey, this is what we think is going to happen in the future. This is our expectations, that kind of stuff. And this is, hey, current economic conditions, they were doing okay. They were building up from like June of 2022, but then they fell off a cliff starting in March of 2024, and now look like they could finally be starting to go back up. And you want this, right? This is what people are seeing right now versus what they expect or what they believe consumer sentiment to be. So this is a number that matters. It looks like it's starting to trend in the right direction. Michigan inflation expectations, only 2.7%, in line. Everything was in line, guys. Let's look at what we have for Monday. We got Fed Bowman talking, Chicago PMI, Dallas Fed manufacturing, and then just grain stock, and then Chairman Powell. So we'll see if he says anything in midday. Really, I doubt it. He's probably going to keep his mouth shut about monetary policy. So we've got a really quiet start to next week, and then Tuesday we get a lot more data. S&P Global PMI, ISM Manufacturing PMI, JOLTS openings, manufacturing employment, construction, ISM Manufacturing new orders prices, JOLTS, Dallas Fed Services, all kinds of stuff on Tuesday. So that's going to be the bigger day. So we're going into the weekend well, in my opinion, a nice little retrace in things that have been, we're becoming unburdened by what has been. And when I say that, it's not in a Kamala Harris way, it's in a good way. If you look here, some of the things that have been running the most, like Amazon's and Nvidia's and some of these other things that have had really good times, Microsoft, some of these things that have had really good times recently are just taking a break, and I think we're seeing rotation into other sectors, and I want to see that because I've been investing in other sectors that are awaiting rotation. So this is exciting, right? This is happening just the way we want it to, guys and gals. So I love it. Right in line, not a bad thing. CME Fed Watch Tool, again, we're rocking and rolling today. 45% chance of 25 bips on November 7th, and the 50 bips has jumped to almost 55%. So that's an increase in the ability for that to be able to happen. Also, I want to jump over here. I want to thank real quickly the people from earlier in our conversation. I love that X allows you to be able to post links. They gave us a nice little MicroStrategy NAV multiplier versus the Bitcoin price. I'll probably explain this more in another video, but essentially this allows us to be able to look and see how the net asset value, which is basically the value of the underlying assets within MicroStrategy, how they line up to Bitcoin. And right now they're about 2x the underlying holdings. It says 2.12 up here. So this is a great tool. I love this. I really love this. Again, it just kind of gives us better idea of overbought and oversold conditions. And if we can line up some of these with Michael Saylor and when he issues more stock, we might be able to kind of game the system a bit. We'll see. But I love the fact that the community came up with this one. It makes me so happy to have something like the Discord too, where, one thing too. So I will be working on charts over the weekend. I'm going to try and get them all in with Admin Wife. We're going to crush it and see if we can get all the charts inside of here. We will update that stuff too on X, but just under one tab. Again, on X, I'm trying to provide value in that place too. So I brought this back for subscribers where they can go in here and look at the portfolio allocation. And then I also brought in the list of charts. Now, this will be just one single page. We'll have that as well in the Discord. But on the Discord, one of the other benefits is that you'll be able to go in like under a Tesla category or under something else, and you'll be able to have conversations about it. And you'll be able to see both in the upper corner here what the chart looks like and be able to click it and open it up. You'll be able to see what other people are posting in regard to news information. And the community is getting a lot better. You guys are starting to source information and really provide a lot of value. And it's not just me anymore. And I love that. I really think that's great. And I want to see more of it. And I think as we grow, I do need to get mods. If you guys are interested in being a mod, throw something in the chat here and I'll have Admin Wife take a look and we'll look at adding a few of you. But, and the more active you are on here, the greater the chance of you being a mod. I know a few people have already mentioned some stuff, so we'll try and get you at the top of the list. But, again, we're providing value on X. We're providing value in Discord. This community is starting to really come alive, and I love it, and I appreciate it. We're trending towards 750 now. We're over the 720-something mark between members for X subscriptions and then also on Discord. So it's just been it's a roller coaster, guys, but I love you for it. Maybe we'll hit 800 before the weekend ends between both of these. It's just awesome to see the growth here, and the more people we get, as long as we got good mods and we're working good together, we're gonna make a great community, and I'm really excited about it. All right, so I'm going to go back to real quickly. I'm going to go back to the Bitcoin price, I think, and just kind of let it sit there. And then while that's happening, while Bitcoin's grinding away, I'm going to look at chat and we're going to get caught up. So, Mr. Unburdened. Yeah, right. It's a joke. A little humor. Oh, and I tried to make the camera a little bit better too. Hopefully I've been able to accomplish that. Justin says, CleanSpark calls green while stock is red. I didn't really pay too much attention to that, but let's just take a look. I do love that, guys. There's definitely, I think, signal here. Up 2.65% on CleanSpark calls today. Almost in the money on those, even though the stock was down 0.71%. That is definite signal. People aren't just betting on the stock, they're betting on the options now, and I love to see that. Very exciting. And again, those hood calls, just stupid, up 22%, 24% on those today. And honestly, Tesla wasn't a slouch either at 4.69. Again, though, PayPal kind of sucked, down 2.4%, but I took that as an opportunity to buy. I told you I probably wouldn't buy, but man, when I get a 10% drop on my call, I got to pick it up. I got to pick it up. 2026, of course. Easy number. And again, Iron, I'm up to 22,250 on that. And then Micron, I'm at 12,500. So I'm starting to stack and add, and I love it. Very excited about it. Let me get back to chat. John Mars, good afternoon, evening here to all. Let's see, everybody saying hi to each other. You're going live with the Cybertruck? No, I can't get the Cybertruck. They're not going to be done with it till Monday, supposedly. I think I gave them too much leeway, and they're taking it. Probhot, yay, it's Friday. Yes, sir. Rocky A, hey, Jesse, you doing minors this weekend? Yes, 6 p.m. on Sunday. Worst case 7, but probably 6 Central Time. Probhot, yeah, super awesome week and many more to come. Agreed. Dr. Gonzo, long weekend looking for group. Yes, sir. Dr. Gonzo says, great week for me and my fellow Bitcoiners. Yes, sir. It's getting ready to blow up. That's the one thing I'm trying to really push is Bitcoin. I want people to think about Bitcoin. Tony DeGuyen, hit the bike, Jesse. I haven't done a lot of the bike. I've done a lot of hiking. I'm doing push-ups and curls and just trying to stay fit, and I've been doing a pretty good job at it. Haven't done the bike a lot, though. Chris Federal, fantastic week. Yep. David Parketney, hello. Sidecar guy, Hood is really taking off. Again, it helps when you have Citibank raising price targets. You're just going to see people chasing a lot of these guys. This is why it's so important to get the markets directionally right, because when you do that, you make it where you're ahead of the markets and ahead of the analysts, and then the analysts chase you, and you just ride up the wave of upgrades as you make shit tons of money, and it's a lot of fun. I personally like it. Tony DeGuyen, Amazon, my third biggest holding. Why are you calling me out? Sorry, Tony. I apologize. Let's take a look at it real quick and see if we can shit on it super fast. I'm kidding, but then at the same time, what the fuck? Why not? Let's just see how it's doing. I haven't really looked at Amazon in a while to see how it see. Oh, it looks like it's finding support on the .382, which is also peak highs over here in July of 2021 in November. That's probably a good sign, actually. It's probably consolidation. So we'll see what it does. Definitely want to keep it from dropping underneath its trend line here. But so far, it looks okay. So not too called out. Prabhat, time for CleanSpark is coming. Agreed. Again, if you guys like the number 32 for CleanSpark, raise your hands. I know I do. Hype in the chat, guys. Is anybody making money today? I hope so. Hit the likes if you would, too. All right, let's see. Ariel, hey, Jesse, random question I have today. What do you believe is a safe figure to retire on at age 40, assuming you withdraw $100K each year for your living expenses? It's really difficult, man. It depends on how tight your budget is if you're withdrawing $100K, right? So if you can grow that money at an accelerated rate, like me, I quit with like 375 or some shit, and that was my entire net worth. Not all of that was liquid. So, but I did that into a Bitcoin bull market cycle where I knew I was going to make shit tons of money. So I don't know that everybody can do it at that level. But again, with what you're talking about, I mean, ideally, you start with at least $500,000 to $1 million, and your expenses aren't crazy so that you're not burning that money. I would say $1 million would be a good number. Some people would disagree, but they don't make the returns I make. So, but if you do that, I would say you're good at that. Again, retire before I did, guys. I retired at like, what was it, 43 something? I don't fucking know. It was a while ago. 43, 42, 42, 42. I retired. And yeah, God, the years go by quick. When you retire, it gets worse. It doesn't get better, guys. But yeah, it's well worth it to retire early. I will definitely say that, and I hope you're able to pull it off. But I would say $1 million is a really safe number. If you have $500,000 right now and you're invested in the things I'm in, or even 300,000, you might be retiring by the end of the cycle in a year. So it just all depends on what you're at, right? And again, that's I don't provide financial advice. I've got a disclaimer down below. I need to fix my comments because they're bleeding into my disclaimer, but you guys get the gist. Alex Garcia, sup everybody? What a week. Sold a couple of hood leaps today and bought CleanSpark and Mara. Cool. I like the idea of leaning into those Bitcoin holdings. Les Walter, hi all. Jesse, recap should be 927. Uh-oh. I missed something. Oh well. Oh, well, I guess it's the wrong. We'll change it afterwards. We'll change it afterwards. It's probably why no one's here. They're like, this is 2 days old. Let me see here. Can I change it over here? Can I? Let me try this. Maybe this will fix this. Let me try it there. And then I don't know if that's going to update and on X, but I'm trying. Let me see here real quick. I'm going to jump over to this. Give me a second. I change it over here. Can I? All right. Let me mute this real quick. All right. That says, I think it still says 925. Edit and live cut. I don't want to do that. Nope. Can't change that. All right. Whatever. Whatever. I'll change it after the fact. Maybe I can do this other one now. Can I do this other one now? I can do the one on YouTube now. I'll do that. Boom, 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 boom. Are you prepared for the market shift of 2024? I like that title better anyway. Boom. That's it. Are you prepared for the market shift of 2024? That's our new title. AI gave that to me. Fucking awesome. All right. I'm going to try it next too, but I don't know if it's going to work. I'm going to try and update it to that. Boom. All right. Whatever. We're done. We're moving on. We're moving on. All right, let's see here. I'm going to go back to Bitcoin, just let that play out so we can see what's happening here. Maybe even just take a look. I'll give you some shitcoin bubbles to look at for today. All right. Let's go down the list. I feel like Mario. All right, keep going. Hi all, Jesse, recap. Okay, that was that one. All right, Gary Curate. Jesse, I just listed to Tom Lee Strikes Back podcast some very interesting insights and possible plays for us. Let me know if you want to discuss here on Discord. What were they? Like, can you summarize it all? Marty Cohen, great afternoon, Jesse. Hello, everyone. David Parquetney, yeah, very nice week. Silas, this is a guy who scrawls iron all over my local park and covered picnic tables. He drives his local guy to wonder accessibly. I don't know what you're talking about. Shale, wave. Mr. Unburdened, that's me. Marty Cohen, y'all should hit the like button. It's really easy, doesn't cost anything, and it helps me out. I agree, Marty. Thank you. And the best part is I didn't have to ask for it. Les Walter bought TSLL, that's a multiple X Tesla fund, and MSTX, a MicroStrategy multiple X fund, 1.75, I think. Sold the stock and bought the 2X for both on 40% of each in one account. Cool, man. Alex Garcia, happy to help if you need some of us. Okay, awesome. I'll add you to the list. Thanks, man. Mike Lauk, I could help out with mod duties. Sweet. All right, I'll add both of you guys to the list. Cody, down to be a mod. Okay, all right. Got 3 already. Getting pretty good. Anthony C. Clear would love to help out as a mod. Wow, you guys aren't bucking around. Thank you, guys. Prabhat. All right, I'm going to take a quick screenshot of the names of the people that asked and just save that. There we go. Thank you, guys. All right, moving on. Going back here. Prabhat, nice. I am waiting for a dip if it comes to add MSTX. I might do that same thing. MicroStrategy was just having a great day today, guys. It's hard to buy into some of these when they just keep doing well. Let's jump over here actually and look at the watch list again and see what MicroStrategy finally landed on. So, Bonk up to almost 11%. Optimism up 8.11. Hood 6.5. Wow, just a lot of good stuff. MicroStrategy 6.17. That's a good final number. That's a real good final read. Can't hate that at all. All right, let me keep going down the list here. How are you doing, Jesse Crew? Good, Disease Kodak. Tyler, when will you start unstaking your Solana to be available to sell if you want? I probably won't start unstaking Solana until after the first, I don't know, it depends at 150K. Bitcoin gets to 150K, I'm probably unstaking Solana because I don't care about the interest rate then and I want to be ready to sell whenever the right time is. Now, it could be a while. I actually think Solana could go up to a 2,000. I was talking about that earlier. If you just look over here at the market caps, you can see where Solana is tiny compared to Ethereum. Ethereum, it says market cap of 324 billion, and the market cap of Solana is only 74. So 320 something versus 74, quite a difference. And I think Solana has the ability to eat a lot of the Ethereum network. And so if it does that, and you look at the fact that the whole ecosystem is going to be raised up a lot, then Solana could do really, really well. So I'm keeping that in the back of my mind too at the same time. So, all right, let me see here, Jared Bell. Chad Ventures, are we going to have a chance to look at miners if we're not available Sunday at 6? Unfortunately, I'm probably not. I mean, Probably not doing it today. It's going to be Sunday. But worst case, man, you can just check them out Sunday night, Sunday or Monday morning, whatever. You can check it out then. Jarrett Bell, June 2025, CleanSpark 37s were up almost 10% this afternoon while the stock was down -1. Seemed like a chance to sell off a few options and de-risk. That nice, man. If you got that, cool. I didn't really, I'm holding that one for a while. But that's not a bad return, yeah, versus the underlying. That's not bad at all. What says from X says Solana unstakes pretty fast. Yeah, it's like a couple of days or something, or a day. It's not even that long. Jarrett Bell, mint to add that I bought CleanSpark stock with call proceeds. Oh, that's smart too. Yeah. So you kind of delevered a little bit, but you're still in CleanSpark. I don't hate that idea at all, bro. I don't. All right, let's keep going here. So Walter Bryan says weekend pump and then a dump on the weekdays. Yeah, that's tends to be what happens. Bitcoin will pump over the weekend, then maybe it'll dump into Monday. While it's dumping into Monday, though, altcoins could be going up. That's kind of when you see these really bullish parts of the cycle. That's a lot of what happens. You see Bitcoin really raise into the weekends a lot of the time, and then it closes the CME gap on Monday. So it drops down to do that. While it's doing that, alt scream. And you'll see patterns that are similar to that, a little bit different, but that's a pretty general move. I mean, it happens a lot of the time. YT123, let me know when I should sell so it will go up for the rest of you all. Let me know what I should sell so it'll go up for the rest. All right, will do. Let's keep going here. So Bogdan says, people calling me crazy for only 2 stocks and a few calls, Tesla and CleanSpark. 90% Tesla, 10% CleanSpark. But I'm 28-year-old and I have all the time on my side. Would you say this is a bad strategy? No, I don't think it's a bad strategy. I do think 90% in Tesla is a lot of risk just on one company, especially like if Kamala Harris got elected and she was very anti-Tesla and she gave Elon a really hard time and somehow was able to do some things that hurt incentives and kind of slow the stock down, or even the narrative just existed. You could deal with some single investment risks there at being 90% in. But again, I think CleanSpark's a great option. Personally, me, not financial advice, but I would maybe even up the allocation as Tesla's going up here into some other things like some MSTX or BITX, some other Bitcoin related funds. Bitcoin can do really good for you. Again, CleanSpark, if it does 500% in the next 3 months, you won't be crying. And that's probably going to beat even Tesla in your calls, right? So I think a little diversification never hurts. I love diversification, even if it's small percentages. Even if you were only like 70-30 and 30% was something else, or 60-40, you'd still be really heavily concentrated in Tesla, but you would have a lot of other opportunities that could end up yielding high rewards as well. That's kind of the way I think of it. I like multiple asymmetric bets. I love that you're young and taking risks, though, Bogdan, because that's what you want to do. I wish I would have done more of that at 28. If you work hard and you're betting on Tesla and Bitcoin, I can't think that that's going to hurt you. That's a smart move, especially timing wise right now. Sal Pal, your altcoins, I recall you said were worth 300,000. That will be 3 million by the end of the bull run, I expect. I could do 10% on average. It really depends on how it plays out. I like to be conservative, or 10x on average, sorry. I like to be conservative and say 6 to 7x. That way I've got low expectations and I can exceed them. If I made 2.5 million or even 2 million off of those, I would be happy. Those are long-term capital gains, so it's a good tax rate. Kyle Wright, I'd be interested in being a mod. Awesome. I will add you to the list too, Kyle. Chris Federal, advisors, lol. Mike Lauk, give me 8 million and I will figure it out. Chris Federal, you guys are great. You should buy a locker. You guys are fucking hilarious. I'll just let you guys have a room. Ariel, thanks for the note, Jesse. Just curious because I personally feel like I'm ahead of the pack for my age group, age 28 now, and a net worth of about 300,000, most of which is in BTC and proxies. I think that's a great way to be, and I think you're totally ahead. You're way ahead of where I used to be, and I'm a multimillionaire now, so it tells you what kind of opportunities you have. Ariel, I'm hopefully optimistic. Thanks, Jesse. Dario, I have the same calls as you, CleanSpark, Hood, and PayPal. The only one I regret that I didn't know you before, I could take Tesla calls. Yeah, Tesla's one of my biggest bets. I made a video about $14 million bet or something. That got a lot of clicks. I think I got 30,000 views. Sealess, iron, nobody knows what it means. I don't know what you mean by that. I mean, they've got a high hash rate, they've got a pretty good management team, and they've got HPC as a narrative. I don't think it really matters. They got $22,000 on it. Joseph Mock, I'd like to be a mod as well. Okay, I'll try and add you in. Sealess, I'll mod. Wow, you guys got like 6 or 7 now. All right, we'll figure it out. Alexander Doe, please add me to. Okay, wait, even more. Wow, you guys just okay, sweet. Maytag, good afternoon, Jesse. Great. Let me just take another screenshot because there's so many of you in here. One here. So many mods. All right, there we go. There we go. All right, so Maytag said, good afternoon, Jesse. Great market day. My biggest positions are BTC ETFs, minor, big, and CLSK and Tesla calls for June 2026. Let's go. That's probably going to turn out well, bro. Anthony, despite all of the money we made, highlight of my week was that you followed me on X. Awesome. Yeah, and I'll follow anybody. If you guys subscribe on X, I follow you too, so that you can DM me. I can't respond all the time. So to like try and limit it if you could to like emergencies or when you really need to chat. But yeah, I'll follow everybody that subscribes. Sealess, Solana could run a lot. I agree. Maytag, happy to be considered for a mod in the Discord as well. All right. Gary Curate from Tom Lee podcast, energy sector is a huge AI play. Maybe we could look at some energy company options apart from Tesla. Small caps still have 80% to catch up on PE Industrials EU. If you guys have any ones you really want to look at, probably not today because I'm trying to stay away from tickers. I'm trying to spend time with family today. And it's been a good week and I just want a break. Setting up a Discord and X subscriptions and then trying to figure out content and then trying to just keep up with everything. It's been a long week. So I just need a little bit of downtime while we work on some of the other stuff behind the scenes. So I'm gonna make it shorter today, but I like the idea of talking about that more, Gary. And if we need to set up something, I need to break down by category some of these things. But I like the idea of talking about more energy related plays. Disease Kodak, would you be about to deep dive on a scaling out of our plays and bull target? I know you have targets, but scaling out would be great to learn from you. Yeah, we'll talk about more of that. I'll try and implement it into my charts too, where I show you like, I'm going to try and be 10% out here, 30% here, 50% here, 70% here. So you could look at them and get visual ideas too of when I typically like what my game plan is. Always subject to change, but I do try and have a game plan on everything so that it's more robotic and it's less emotional. I think there's a method to the madness there. Sealess, the Iron Scrawler won't say what it means. Dude wears a dress. I don't know who the Iron Scrawler is, but he might be into HPC. I'm not sure what you're saying, dude. Dominic, hey, Jesse, what do you think ASPN as a potential options play? We'll have to look at that next time. I'm staying away from stocks today. Tom Kovalik, watching you on phone and computer. Make sure you like everyone. Jesse, what are your top 3 poop coins? Solana definitely at the top of the list. That's really honestly probably the priority on it right now. I think I still have a little bit of Ethereum. Let's look real quick here and see what else I got. So Near Protocol has grown into something. And then I've got some layer 2s, some meme coins and shit. It's really like Solana and then everything else. It's by far my biggest position. It's like probably 40%, 35% or something in Solana. 30%. I don't know, something like that. So it's a lot in Solana. I think I have some in another account too. But again, I've got some Doge. I've got a few others. I try and with the others, I'm just spreading the wealth to see what kind of returns I can get. But I expect the bulk of that, like the bulk of the faithful, highest conviction play to be Solana. So hopefully that answers your question. Oh, 2 a.m. wants to be a mod too. Awesome. Let's see here. I missed a few. All right, Dinesh. Hey, Jesse, you want to share my investment returns just to you? Where do you recommend me doing that? You could just like if you guys want to say like, hey, I'm doing great. Here's what I got. Share it. Doesn't matter. I think it's good for the group to know how well we're doing and to know that people are winning. So whatever you want to do, and if you don't want to share, that's cool too. Walter Bryan, I feel like you should buy MicroStrategy for gains, hold BTC for long term. I agree with that. And again, if you really think MicroStrategy is going to pop, like if you owned MSTX already, you had a really good day because you doubled what you did in MicroStrategy. MicroStrategy, if you owned MSTX like a month ago, you did really good because you get that multiplier too. So I do agree. I like the idea of the multipliers for the gains. And then I think by the end of the cycle, you should have some cash and some hedging. And then also you should be adding to your personal stack in Bitcoin. That's what I do every cycle. I try and make it to where it grows. Dinesh, I mean, screenshots. Walter Bryan, please add me to the mod. I don't know if I can do screenshots. We'll have to figure that out. We could maybe do that in Discord or something. I don't know. I'll have to see. Walter Bryan, please add me to the mod list. Wow, we got like 10 mods now. You guys aren't fucking around. Thank you. Tyler Casamenti, why do you prefer MSTX over MSTU? Last time I checked, we can look at it again real quick here. Last time I checked, had a fraction of the volume. And so I don't like low volume plays. Now, maybe it grows into a better one, but I like liquidity. So let me just show you what I'm talking about. So there's MSTX, and here's how we look at this one. All right, so we click on MSTX, and that's the 1.7 play. But the average daily volume over the last 30 days was 3.65 million per day. Let's look at MSTU, and hopefully I got these right, not backwards. MSTU, this is the 2X fund, and it has an average volume. It doesn't even have it calculated yet because it's so low, but it says today 1.39 million. So 1.39 million. Let's look at what we had for MSTX today. Today we had 6.58. So that's a huge difference. It's like a 5x difference in the amount of volume that we're seeing. So again, I would rather be in something that's got liquidity. So that's why. Maybe that changes in the future, but I like the liquidity plays. I want to know that I'm going to be able to have an exit strategy when I need it. So that's the thought process there. All right. Yeah, more volume. Somebody else already answered it, of course. Of course you guys did. You guys are awesome. YT123, when you run a fib extension, how far back is relevant? It depends. It depends. I know that's a shitty answer, but it depends on what the chart looks like because some of these charts, things happen very slowly. If you're talking about the bond market, it could take years. But like a lot of them, as of late, especially if they're very pronounced, the pandemic is a great bottom where you start and then you draw it to the next high and then you draw it down to the recent low. And so it makes it really easy to draw it out right now on some of these plays just because of that pandemic, making it to where it's just so much simpler to understand. So, but again, that doesn't necessarily pronounce that way on everything. If you look over here on Bitcoin, again, that pandemic brought Bitcoin down to 3,800, something like that. And then when you draw all the way up here to the top, the double top on Bitcoin's history, and then you draw down to the bottom, it makes for a pretty easy trend-based fib extension. Part of it, though, you just kind of figure out over time. And you're always trying to search for the active chart and the active time frame. And by that, I mean, like, is the monthly. And here's the thing, like, some people get caught up in, like, these little short 1 hour, 30-minute charts. I never touch that shit. The lowest I go is the daily, and then I'll do a weekly, monthly. That's where I live most of the time. And what I'm trying to do is figure out, okay, which one is the active chart? And sometimes a couple of them can be active at the same time, but you're trying to figure out which one is playing out technically. And the bigger time frames, the larger time frames are going to be more accurate than the shorter ones. It's just how technicals work. So you'll get better trend lines, and you'll get, again, like quants and algos are going to look at those longer term trends, and they're going to be like, that's something I can latch onto. So right now, if you look at Bitcoin, they're all saying, wow, this looks bullish as fuck. And we need to get ahead of this play because this thing's been sitting here chopping. It's about at the level it was in February, and we're heading into October. So the quants and the algos are saying, buy this bitch. Get ready to move. All right. Let me keep going here. Doug Frenchek says, Jesse, I still can't comment on YouTube. I may pay subscriber, Jack. I don't know. I don't know, man. I don't know what the problem is. I went through and checked the block list for ones where I've like caught people that are spam. That there's a chance that I caught you as spam, but it's so hard to find in YouTube's list that can suck. So I don't know what the fuck that's about, but sometimes when I'm going through the comments, you'll see people that'll, the spam is always like, oh, hey, I love what you did today, but you should really be thinking about this. And then there'll be like 20 fucking comments under it. Oh, yeah, I learned from blah, blah, blah's Telegram that this is really cool. And so I block that shit all the time and hide those users. There's a chance maybe that I did that with you, but their interface sucks. So I'll try. I'll take a screenshot of this again, too. And I'll try and get it to where I can fix that if I can find it. If that's what it is. I don't even know. Do you get an error message at all? All right, let's keep going. Silas, you asked about my first Iron comment saying you didn't know what it meant. You then were confused just now by follow-up explanation. Weird, wistful scrawling of one word, Iron. I still don't know what the fuck you're talking about. Can somebody clue me in on what the fuck Silas is talking about? Brian, for everyone buying BTC proxies but avoiding buying actual Bitcoin, be sure to accumulate BTC in the process. And also, while you take profits on the proxy gains, owning BTC is king. I agree. Again, just what I was talking about earlier. At the end of the cycle, I like to hold more Bitcoin than I had before. Dr. Gonzo, totally agree. We're all on the same page. Chris Federal, except for Silas. Agree with the downtime. It's a fall football weekend. Thank you, bro. Yeah, we got to all enjoy ourselves. Silas, my neighborhood, people use sidewalk chalk. One dude scrawls iron. It has been confusing. Oh, he's trying to like pitch iron on the fucking sidewalk chalk? That's weird. Brian Thurm, last cycle I missed doing that while trying to beat Bitcoin on getting higher returns from proxies. Yeah, that happens, man. Nick, $5. Thanks for the work, Jesse. Thank you, sir. Appreciate that. All right, Silas, I'll take a picture. Okay. Yeah, do that. I'm actually curious. Throw it in the Discord. Brian Thurm, Jesse, can you tell us down the line when you start hedging Bitcoin? Yeah, oh, dude, that's the whole point. Yeah, both on, if you subscribe to X, what I would recommend, subscribe to X and subscribe. Oh, thanks, Nick. Gifting 5 memberships. You rock. You guys are fucking great. I would recommend subscribing to X because, again, you're getting trades in there. I am trying to speed up. On Discord, I noticed that the trades are there now. That's working. But I'm trying to check with the wife, admin wife, and see if we can speed up X alerts. I noticed the X alerts seem to be delayed. Like right now, this last one's 325. That's probably good. But I feel like those are delayed by like 10, 15 minutes sometimes. I want to see if we can speed that up and make them more real time. I don't know about YouTube alerts. There's a bunch of things to work on, guys. But you can essentially, again, you can get the trades in here, but in a more timely fashion for now, at least until we figure out the sync. You can get them in here too under X. So if you have anything, I recommend the $5 subscription to X, the $5 Discord. For $10, you get like fucking all of it. The only shitty thing is YouTube has some better features, and then when I add chapters, that's probably going to be better too. But it's kind of give and take. Worst case, you spend $12. All right, let me see here. Keep rolling down. 100. Somebody asked if I was invited to the Robotaxi event. I am not. To be clear, there are people like Omar, Holmar's catalog, that have like 400,000 or 500,000 followers, and I don't think he got an invite. These things get bigger all the time, and it becomes harder to do. YT123, when you run a fib extension, oh yeah, I see you were looking at these others. Yeah, we can do more with that later. I'm trying not to pull up too many individual stocks right now. Again, I want to kind of make it a quick week. Daniel Dibb, I will do some tomorrow, though. I don't know what time, maybe like 8 or 9. It depends on how early I am. I'm going to try and basically do a stock option, whatever you guys want, jam session tomorrow. Not too early. Give you guys some time to rest and sleep in, but maybe like at 9 or something, just to try and get through some stuff, maybe a couple of hours worth. And then hopefully we're really caught up with stocks and charts and everybody's feeling good. And then Sunday we'll do the Bitcoin mining one. I might do a political one over the weekend too to get people caught up on just polling related data. That's essentially going to be it for this weekend. Taking it light. Brian Thurm. Oh wait, Silas said you asked. Oh no, that was that one. Brian. Oh okay, I got to get down. I must have lost my place here. Neighborhood of people, almost caught up. Jesse, does it matter for your margin if I log in or on Discord or a browser versus desktop? It does not. Just when so with the Discord, don't worry about it. If you sign up through WAP, you're signing up through the web, and so they take a 3% fee. If it's X or YouTube and you sign up through the mobile app, they take an extra 30% cut. And that's not just for me, that's for everybody, guys. So remember that stuff because there's people taking advantage of you. These stores take a lot of advantage over publishers of anything that you subscribe through via the store. It's a 30% cut, so it's a lot of money. Maytag said I bought some MSTU this week. It went up 45%. Likely not sustainable, but was a great week. That's fucking awesome, dude. Congrats. Value Maxi, I'd love to know why you're jumping in on MU over other semiconductors. Yeah, so I've got a thesis on it. I probably need to make a video about it. If I feel enough, yeah, if I'm able to, I'll try and get a video out for that, maybe Sunday earlier in the day before the Bitcoin mining one. So I'll see what I can do. I really like the play. I like the fact that you know what, the CEO interview is probably the best thing. I'll compile maybe a couple of bits of information and sources, and then the CEO interview that happened on CNBC, and then maybe looking at option plays inside of the video. I'll make it members only, of course, and then also just kind of talking through visual stocks and other things with it too. But I'll try and give you a full picture if I can on Micron. That's the goal. And that's why I'm adding to it. And I haven't gotten crazy yet. Again, I only have, what do I have? I only have $12,500 in it, but I'm adding, and I'll continue to do so. All right, keep going here. YT123 MSTU does also have a lower expense ratio. If volume comes up, could be nice. Yeah, that's true. As long as volume comes up, that could be nice. And the lower expense ratio might help with that. So it's definitely something to keep an eye on. And that's what, a 2x versus MSTX is 1.75. What's the difference in expense ratio? Do you know, YT? Own It is a mortgage play. Okay, let's talk about that. If you can, let's talk about it tomorrow morning, or at least queue it up when I put it in there, and I'll try and go over it. Daniel Dibb, hey Jesse, currently 100% allocated into CleanSpark. Don't think it's the right time to reallocate to spread it out since BTC. I think it's going to go up 230% or 220% between now and the end of the year, beginning of next. So I agree. Not a bad idea to hold on to it, in my opinion. That's what I'm doing. Tyler Casamenti, MSTU just started last week, so it's going to take time to build up. Yep. And volume. Yep. Shale, what do you guys think of adding winner and loser directories for people to post, and I can help automating? I don't hate that idea. What do you guys think? Let's take a poll. All right, poll's going. You guys throw out your choices. Yes or no? Would you mind saying how you plan to get out of CleanSpark options again, Jesse? Like your scale out plan. I honestly, by 32, my main target, I'm probably gonna try and be really out. Like fucking. It all depends. See, I have a plan every time, and then that plan can change based upon new information. But if we look real quickly here at CleanSpark, what I'm betting on is that we're going to get to 92,000 in Bitcoin between now and the beginning of the year. If that happens, CleanSpark should be able to jump roughly 230% from where it is up to the $33 range. My strikes are for June for $37. If that happens between now and December or January, I'm going to get the fuck out of probably all of them. Because I love to have a bunch of extra extrinsic value, which is extra time on my option play. Other people can gamble for the next 6 months. I don't give a fuck. Because if I make an extra 450%, and I'm holding over $1 million in CleanSpark options, along with all of my other plays, CleanSpark makes up a really small amount of my portfolio. Oh, and by the way, guys, over the weekend, we're also going to try and build out lists, get that stuff on the Discord and an X. And then also from just all these charts that I've got, this massive list of charts that I've got. And then also get the portfolio allocation, at least for the crypto stuff. And then maybe try for, options versus stock. And then I think the other one was just long-term hold versus short or something. I can't remember. Or I'm sorry, like IRA versus non-IRA long-term accounts. I'll probably try and do all that stuff eventually, but we're going to be adding some of that and trying to over the weekend too. So there should be some good growth there. If you haven't signed up for Discord or X, do it. I think you'll benefit for $10 if you get both. But yeah, if I get 450% and I'm over $1 million in Clean Spark calls, I'm getting the fuck out and I'm just going to hold Clean Spark. Remember, remove leverage, or I should say, remove multipliers on the way up, guys. Take those gains, lock them in, and don't add them on the way up. That's the worst fucking way you can do it. Maytag, BTC is to hold. BTC proxies will be sold at the peak. And yeah, options you sell first, right? And shitcoins you sell first, and then you get out of those multipliers, and then you get out of the proxies too. And then ideally, in the end, you're holding Bitcoin. You might even, depending upon how you're doing it, I add to my hardware stack. But if I basically sell out all the proxies, I sell out all the multipliers in that order, and then if I have any like ETF related ones too, I'll sell out of those as well as we go higher and higher and higher and start hedging against it, and hold cash, hold maybe TLT. There's a lot of different hedging strategies we'll figure out. Maytag, BTC is to hold. BTC, oh yeah, that was you. Sealess Dunno. The dude wears a dress and won't say to others. Maybe he's into Bitcoin mining. Wearing a dress and likes iron. Cool. Soaring Shitty. Wow, thanks for the sub. You are welcome, sir. Anthony, again, if you guys sign up on X, subscribe on X, I'll follow you. That's how it works. Anthony, you also have trades channel on Discord. Do you simultaneously post there and to the subscribers? Yes. But it sounds like the trade one on Discord has like up to a 15-minute delay. I'm going to see if I can speed that up. So it's, as far as timeliness, it looks like it's better on X. All these platforms have benefits and drawbacks. I think between the two, Discord and X, you get the best of both worlds. And the community is fucking awesome too. And it's just going to get better once we get the mods in here. All right. Soaring Shitty. I like that. Nice play on words. What's your Mara top prediction for the BTC cycle? That's so hard to say. It's so hard to say. I can give a rough idea, but it could change. It's changed from what I thought it was going to be 9 months ago. But I think Mara is a big miner. It's a large miner. It's not going to get the multiple of some of the smaller ones. But top of the cycle, I mean, Mara could be $88. Maybe it gets up to like 140. That's probably max. So 80 to 140 is probably what we're looking at for them. And that's just, again, an educated guess based upon experience and a lot of other factors that can change in the future. Ryan Ripkowski, rate my portfolio, 27 years old, $220,000, 60% Fidelity Bitcoin ETF, 30% SoFi, 10% CleanSpark. It's all right. I think you need some Tesla in there. I like the Fidelity play, but right now I would be more in CleanSpark. I would be getting those multipliers on the way up, and then I would be selling them and converting that. Since you're going to make a bigger number, I would convert that into something like Fidelity. Personally, SoFi's all right. It's a pretty good one. I also, again, I like PayPal. I like Hood. I like Archie. There's other stuff. I would diversify more, but that's just me. But it's not bad. Seen way worse, man. You're going to do a lot better than most people, in my opinion. All right. Bogdan M, I was wondering if you stopped trading, but you share it on X for subscribers, right? No, I do it in both. Again, if we look over here, today's trades, we have the exact same thing down here, verbatim, as what we have on X. So they're both on there now. There will be more of a nuanced layout. Again, there's give and takes in both. The good thing is you can get everything in one place on the Discord, and we're gonna have like investment strategies. It sounds like people for the vote here like the idea of doing winners and losers as a channel in here too. So we'll have that in the Discord as well. It looks like 45 votes. I think that's good enough. I'm going to end the poll on that. But we got crypto section, stocks, bonds, indices. We're going to be just building this the fuck out like crazy. And so, again, you can go down in here and you can click on like a PayPal. And if there's any chat on it, you can see what people are talking about. You'll be able to see what I'm talking about. And when you click up here, anything that's pertinent specific to PayPal, like any charts that I've shared, will be available to you. You can click on them, you can pull it up, and you can see how PayPal's doing in the way that I shared it out. So I think there's a lot of value just being able to have the conversations and dialogue in here, and then also at the same time have access to a lot of the charting. You could ask questions in here. Maybe other people can answer it. The community is growing really quick, so I think there's a lot of opportunity there to just make that better and better. Let's see here real quick. John Mars says, Jesse, I would invest On and options for beginners, masterclass through Zoom if you were the teacher. Appreciate. I would just check for now, man. For now, what I would do is just look at my options video. That's what I would do. And here, I'll give it to you real quick. If you haven't seen it, maybe you've already seen it, but just watch my options video. I don't have a master class one, but if there's more questions that you have, we can talk about them. But I got one for free right here, and it doesn't cost you $2,700. How's that? And maybe we'll do something too on the Discord or something, or figure out a way to be able to do that, like in a private members only video for more additional questions that you guys might have. But definitely everybody should see the Options 101 video I shared below. Dr. Gonzo, you're doing awesome. Ryan, bravo. Cody, hit the like button, fam. Agreed. Ryan Ripkowski, thanks. Dr. Gonzo, Silas, yeah. When I asked about MU maybe 4 months ago, you said no. Why the interest? I talked about it 2 days ago with the interest from the interview with the CEO. That's probably the one I was most interested in. And yeah, you know, new input and new data changes my mind. Cole Megna, Tesla, great close on the weekly chart. Dr. Gonzo, little less SoFi, little more Tesla is what I do, but people love their SoFi. Yeah, that's true. Michael Lauk, and I agree with that. Silas, I believe MU has a big advantage in the AI memory space. Yeah, that's one of the biggest parts of his conversation, is that it seems like they benefit a lot in regard to that. And not just that space, but in most of the space. It sounds like everybody's buying their memory. And when I compare that to SMCI that's going through, you know, a Department of Justice probe, kind of makes it to where, like, this one sounds good. The market cap's small. There's a lot of stuff. We'll talk about it in the video. I'll try and get it done Sunday. Kyle Wright. Curious your thoughts on miners, MicroStrategy being less of a multiplier in current cycle and future cycles as Bitcoin becomes more stable and smart money becomes more familiar with cycles. Yeah, that'll happen. Yeah, I can see that. But you're also, though, it is normal though to have miners and companies like MicroStrategy. There was a post that was great earlier. It talked about what happens when they're forced to do the FASB accounting rules because they haven't done that yet, and how much value it adds to the stock price. So that will be another multiplier for them going forward. But just miners in any segment get a multiple of the underlying asset. So that will probably lessen. I agree with that, because they'll get bigger economies of scale in the miners and the asset will become more stable. So you will see a reduction in the multiplier every cycle. I try and incorporate that in every cycle too. So yeah, 100% agree with that. Ryan, yeah, I've been in the SoFi cult for a while, laughing my ass off. Yeah. It's all fucking Tanner's fault. I'm kidding. But he did drag me into it, so it's kind of his fault. Silas, but with a high certainty of BTC, bull investing resources are limited. I mean dollars. Sure. YT123, 1.05 MSTU versus 1.29 MSTX expense ratio. Oh, okay. That is actually pretty decent. Yeah, thanks for the heads up, man. This is great. This is what, so when I don't know stuff and you guys know it and you can share it with the community, I just think that's fucking wonderful. Anthony, when do you think we end the cycle? Q1 of 2025? No, not remotely. I think I would have said that. Now, here's the thing: if we were already at 150,000, if we had already hit 150,000 and we did it over the summer, like if we were pushing at the rate we were at the end of last year, beginning of the year. Of this year, then I would say, oh yeah, if we're already at 150K now and have been, then yeah, we're probably done in Q1 of 2025. But we've been just sitting around, and again, I pulled up Google Trends a bunch of times, guys. It's boring as fuck. Nobody cares about Bitcoin. This is one of the lowest numbers we've seen since before this last cycle, I should say, or right around. Like, this is the August of 2020 kind of doldrums. This is the September of 2023. Like, nobody gives a fuck about Bitcoin. And then after September of 2023, it just skyrocketed to the moon and everybody all of a sudden gave a fuck about it. But we're in such a boring zone right now. I don't think Q1 of 2025 remotely happens unless we get 150,000 between now and spring. Then maybe the end of Q1 or Q2, we end up topping, but not until then. Gary Curate, Google Iron means peace, or probably an aim. Could be. Silas, Mike Lauk, I know they do. That's why I'm even considering the investment. It's been coming for 1+ years. Silas, MU has a major cyclicality. BD, do you think CleanSpark outstanding share vote in October will negatively impact options pricing? I don't know. Doubt it. It depends on how they go. If they side with management, I think smart money is going to be like, yeah, they're a great allocator of capital. Price go up. If they don't side with management, I don't know. It could get a little weird. But I'm not really too worried about it either way. There's so much going on in October. I care more about what happens with the price of Bitcoin. Bitcoin will float all boats. It doesn't fucking matter. I've said this a bunch of times, but when something this big blows up, it will fall into the altcoins and the next biggest ones. Just like if you have this big bowl like a water fountain, and then it's got a bunch of little ones off to the side, and it starts to overflow, and they're near it. It will drip into them, and it will fill up the bigger ones and that are near the top, and then it'll drip into smaller ones. Then it might spill out on the ground. That's how this stuff works when it comes to liquidity and money across all markets. So I expect this to spill out into everything, including CleanSpark, and that'll be the primary driver of the stock. Mike Lauk, Silas, I love the knowledge you bring to the table. Thank you. I'm looking to do MU Starter Pack 2. Gary, we've Googled it. Gary Curate, Jesse, we need to be careful with too many directories on Discord. I agree. Over time, it can balloon. Yeah, I don't want to add a bunch of channels is what you're talking about. I do believe we'll have categories underneath of channels, but you're right. I don't want to have too many channels for sure. Channels are probably going to be very similar to what they look like today, where there's a general for voice, there's socials. I've got like a little welcome section. There's general, where if we add anything, it'll be under that. There's my portfolio. I might rename that. But it's got today's trades, portfolio allocations, and charts. And then investment strategies, news, Bitcoin, crypto, bonds, stock. Those are going to be the channels, right? And the indices. Those are going to be the channels. And then we might put some things into there for categories, but they're going to be applicable to the channel, and that's it. And you're right. I don't want to build up too much. Silas, Mike Lauk, Silas, I love you. Knowledge you bring to the table. Oh, you already did that one. Kamawa, looking ahead to the next BTC cycle, what was your process for finding shit coins last year? It was really fucking lazy. A, was it on Coinbase? B, was it a shit coin that had been around a while and that looked dead? If so, subtract it from the list. I also used James from Invest Answers. His research was plentiful and amazing, which is why I'm so much into Solana. But I also thought I had my own thesis too, and I don't know how well it's going to play out. But I had a thesis of, okay, Ethereum might not do as well, but I think the layer 2s have opportunity, so I invested in layer 2 Ethereum plays and a couple of other ones like Cosmos and some others that might get some bumps and have some narratives. They've got YouTubers behind them, if nothing else, that are going to be pushing and pumping them and saying how great they are and how they're the bee's knees and they can do everything. So there was some of that in there too. And then just, again, whatever research I could do into the chain quickly and just spreading the wealth out. I didn't put nearly as much effort as I did previous cycles because I find, as odd as this sounds, each cycle, the more I do just quick research and have, use other people and kind of have a thesis and have high confidence in my largest positions and shitcoins, and then spread the wealth over some others through some research, I do better. I do better than if I try and follow them and do TA off of them and just all this shit that people do. Just like miners, everybody's fighting over their favorite miner. It's like, what the fuck? They're all going to go up. The smaller ones are going to have a greater multiple. It doesn't really fucking matter that much. I look at shitcoins the same way. All right, let's see here. What are we at? We're an hour in, a little over an hour. Does Micron still manufacture in Idaho? I think so. I don't remember. I think they've got a bunch of locations. I'm mentally chewing over the simplest way to explain why I won't say how much Bitcoin I have once they start asking. I never tell people what I have. Mike, Silas, yes, Micron manufactures in Ohio per Grok. Good job, guys. N01ZH. Hey, Jesse, what is your thoughts if Kamala wins? How could it affect it? I don't know. It's hard to say with 100% of surety. She's going to be spending a bunch of money too. There's no way she wins the Senate. I don't think she wins it all right now, but she could win, especially if there's corruption. So again, it would be negative, I think, for the economy, but she plans on spending plenty of money, and I don't see the Treasury and the Fed stopping anytime soon on their parts in this action. And then we've got massive global liquidity all around the world. So I don't know over the short term that it really matters with what I'm doing in investing over the next 3 to 6 months. I think it's still up no matter what. Now the question is, the stock market could take a hit though if she got the Senate, like it could be ugly. It could be ugly because she's a communist straight up. Like that's what she is. And wealth redistribution in the United States with 130% debt to GDP would be a nightmare. Shale Bosman, when someone asked you about CleanSpark option price today, you looked at the underlying stock price and said in the money, just wondering why we're still out of the money. Yeah, it doesn't matter. So you have the concept of extrinsic and intrinsic value. Intrinsic value is if you hit the strike price and everything was done and had no time value left, then this is what it's worth. And you need to be over your strike price, and then however many shares you're going to be buying, you just do those numbers, and that you have your return, right? So that's intrinsic value. But if you still have time left, you have extrinsic value. And so if I haven't hit my strike yet, there is a combination of intrinsic and extrinsic value that's basically occurring on this thing. It kind of in conjunction with each other. You're not truly an intrinsic value because you haven't hit the strike yet, right? But there's a multiplier kind of behind both of these. And I'm not going to go into all the numbers and the things that you can look at, alpha, gamma, beta, pi. I'm not going to go into all of that. But if I get to 32, and you can look, here's a really simple way to do it. If you go into the options profit calculator, you can avoid all the bullshit. You just put in CleanSpark. And again, this is why you guys need to look at the videos for options, but you can go in here, you can load this. You can go in, you can look at what I have for the July 2025 37 strike. You can see where it is today. Let's say we got 16,000 of it. Let's say this thing can go up to 50, but we just want to see the range of what we're looking at for potential returns. Probably not as good as they were before. If we get up to 32 and we did that by January or February, like I was saying, you'd get a 545% return at today's value versus the 215% that it's doing. So you're getting more than a 2x versus the underlying, and you're getting a really great return on your investment, and I would be happy with that, and I would get the fuck out, and then I would own the stock. So that's kind of what I was saying. Even if you don't hit the strike, if you have time left, you've got like this combination of those values that's giving you value, and it's a lot of value when you're more than doubling your money. It's not as good as the Disney play that somebody was talking about earlier, Luca. That one was really sick. That was like 11x if it plays out. All right. I think let me just see here. I don't think there's anything too crazy in the news, and I think we covered a lot of the rest of it, guys. Probably going to make this real short like I was saying. I just wanted to get out here. I wanted to talk a little bit about some of this. Have a chat with you guys since I was still in town and not driving in my truck. But I really want to go out and hang with my family, and I've worked pretty fucking hard this week. So I think we're going to call it right here, guys. And feel free to chat on the Discord if you guys want to continue any conversations. I love everything that's going on. Again, we'll try and get people added into there as well as mods so that you guys can just regulate it better even if I'm not there. And I'll try and get in there more too. It's just a matter of managing a billion fucking things at once, guys. So we'll make this better together, and we'll do a lot more. I love you guys. I really appreciate the time today. This is a really short one for us, only an hour and 10 minutes, probably the shortest one I've ever done. But again, I hope you guys have a great weekend. Enjoy it, touch grass, enjoy life. We've had a lucrative week, and not everybody did. If you look at some of these here, let's see what the week got for performance here, guys. So some people did good, others did not. Health and technology, you're probably not doing very good. Microsoft wasn't great. Intel wasn't great. Now wasn't great. Amazon wasn't great. Visa wasn't great. There's a decent amount of stuff that got hit in the reds. And if you got 7.84% on Tesla and you were able to distribute that out to other stuff and you made a bunch of money, more power to you. But I love you guys. Take it easy. We will do this again tomorrow morning, maybe around 8 or 9 o'clock Central Time. If you guys have stocks, bring them, and we'll do like an hour or two long jam session just talking about stocks, options, whatever you guys want to do. and then I'll work on that MU video, and then I'll work on the weekly miner video, along with everything else. So we'll see what I can get done. But love you guys. Talk to you later. Have a great night, and peace out. Bye. Maybe I'll give you a video. Nah. You know what? Just one. Just one. Just one.
Lil Bubble, let me ride that rocket.
Buy that fucking dip. Yeah. Buy that fucking dip. Oh. Buy that fucking dip. Dump it on the top and spit. Buy that shit. Buy that fucking dip. Yeah. Buy that fucking dip. Yeah. When it drops, better cop. Let it fucking rip. People love the pump. Yeah. Got 'em lining up. Wow. See us winning, FOMO in and YOLO by the top. Dream of Lamborghini. Girlfriend in bikini. Front covered Forbes magazine is where you'll see me. Oh, what? How? Price went down. Who will save us now? Felt like a hero. Now the fear is here and it's clear as steering to zero. Yeah. Hands weak, bags heavy, and I'm ready to forget about already all the hopes and the dreams. So puke your position like mom spaghetti. I'm hungry and got long cash on the ready to just buy that fucking dip. Yeah. Buy that fucking dip. Oh. Buy that fucking dip. Dump it on the top and spit. Buy that shit. Buy that fucking dip. Yeah. Buy that fucking dip. Yeah. When it drops, better cop. Let it fucking rip. When there's people crying, that's when I'll be buying. Yeah. When they tell you their investment conviction is dying. Oh no. But the market's dead. Yeah. That's what TV man said. It's time to sell it, walk away and sit in cash instead. Pump, what? Price go up. Guess that's just your luck. Sold at the bottom of ladder, you gotta learn how to hold on to whatever money you're gonna earn and not get shaken out when they run the stops. Although it tends to pretend to the dips and the bends, you know the trend is your friend all the way to the end. So I buy that fucking dip. Yeah. Buy that fucking dip. Oh. Buy that fucking dip. Dump it on the top and spit. Buy that shit. Buy that fucking dip. Yeah. Buy that fucking dip. Yeah. When it drops, better cop. Let it fucking rip. Buy that fucking dip. Yeah. Buy that fucking dip. Oh. Buy that fucking dip. Dump it on the top and spit. Buy that shit. Buy that fucking dip. Yeah. Buy that fucking dip. Yeah. When it drops, better cop. Let it fucking